Hey, welcome to the Alpha Lambda Delta info session for today. My name is Eileen Merberg, and I'm the Executive Director of Alpha Lambda Delta. We are headquartered in upstate New York. I believe invited to this session is Arkansas State University, I think, in Northern Arizona University. So I believe that's where y'all are from. If you're from different chapters, let me know. But we've focused these info sessions on a few chapters that have open invitations. We are going to be brief. I'm going to answer any questions you have, but I am going to present a few things first because I've been doing this a long time and I know some of the questions you probably already have. So I'm going to try and answer them before you've even asked them. But if I don't address something, please just let me know in chat. Let me keep chat open so I can keep an eye on that. Okay. So this session is no more than 30 minutes, probably closer to 20, again, just depending on how many questions you have, but I will be quick. Okay, there we go. We are an international honor society. I'm not going to read every slide to you, but essentially our mission is to encourage superior academic achievement. You've already achieved that your first semester. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So congrats on that. But I think our mission is to really help you continue on that path of academic excellence. We've been around a long time. Last year was a big year for us, celebrated our centennial, our 100 years. We had a couple different events to celebrate that. We are technically at like 415 chapters across the country, 2 internationally. But in any given year, closer to 300 or so are active and it ebbs and flows. We do induct between 22 and 24,000 students every year. I'm going to talk a little bit about ACHS and us being certified. That's going to be an important distinction in case you're wondering about the legitimacy of Alpha Lambda Delta and honor societies in general. So again, you're here because you got a 3.5 or higher your first semester. I will talk about membership fees. Ours is the lowest of any honor society that we know of. Just important to know, and I'll elaborate on this, that there are sort of 2 parts to the fee. So our fee, the national fee, is 30, and then your chapter has added on to that, and it's different for every chapter. And so if you're told your fee is 50 or 60 or 35 or 40, that's because of the local fee that your chapter decided to add onto it. And there are no recurring fees, no annual fees. I'm going to mention that a couple of times, just so you know that you don't get charged again. Lots of benefits I will elaborate on very quickly, but just as a snapshot. Great for your resume. We have a perks program, honor cords. I'll address all of those. You do get a membership certificate and a pin that will be distributed at an induction ceremony. And the induction ceremonies can be really nice events on your campus. I'm not sure what each, we don't really control what every single chapter does, but they can be nice events with lots of students gathering and getting your certificate and taking pictures and stuff. So, okay, so the next 2 slides, I'm going to just jump right into what I know are common questions or things you might be thinking about. The first thing is that we do think having a high GPA is a really big deal. Your first semester, so you got off to a great start. That is not easy. Just know that it's not easy to do that well your first semester in college. Some of you, maybe it came easy, but some of you maybe worked really hard for it. And so it's important to recognize that. And it's a good foundation for future success. You do not get kicked out of Alpha Lambda Delta if your GPA drops below a 35. So that might happen. Don't worry about it. Joining Alpha Lambda Delta, I think, is going to help you maintain your grades and do well because you're going to get support and resources, maybe unique support and resources that you might not otherwise have. But if it drops 3.4, 3.2, 3.0, whatever your GPA is this semester, cumulative next year, you don't lose your membership. You're a member for life. One of the biggest things I hear a lot about is that students don't have, they think they don't have time for Alpha Lambda Delta. So you might be thinking that you have a lot on your plate, full course load, finals coming up, and well, not yet, but maybe midterms, you got spring break coming, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, internships, you're doing, 6 other clubs, you have a lot going on. So you might think, well, this is just one more thing I don't have time for. I can't put anything more on my plate. So the most important thing to know about Alpha Lambda Delta is that you're not required to be involved. There are no minimum events or hours that you have to contribute. It's totally up to you, whatever you have the time for, whatever you have the energy for. There will be programs and events happening on your campus throughout the year and every year, this year, next year, all the way through graduation. So you can pick and choose. And there are no requirements. Some of your chapters might have a point system where if you do go to events, you get points and then you get prizes or gifts or giveaways or something. But anyway, you're not committed to participating. One of the things I like to tell students is that your time might change. So right now, in this very moment, you might think you don't have time for anything more in your schedule. But that could change for you. So next year could be really different. Junior year could be really different. Your senior year, when you maybe want to wear honor cords or do some things as a senior where Alpha Lambda Delta could have benefited you, you might find that you have more time because things are going to change for you. Time and money are the 2 big questions. So let's just deal with the fee part of it. Why do you have to pay a fee? What does it go towards? Aren't all organizations that charge a fee a scam? And why should I have to pay just because I got good grades? And is it worth it? And what do I get out of it? All very legitimate questions and common questions that we hear. So just know that every membership organization and every honor society has a fee. That's just the nature of a membership organization, one that's run by a national headquarters office. And so they're all fee-based. Our fee, in particular, we try and keep it as low as possible. We are not out to gouge students to, make $1 million off students. We keep our fee as low as possible. We're a nonprofit charitable organization. And we want it to be affordable to students. So our fee is $30, which again, as I mentioned, is really low compared to other membership organizations. If you were informed that your fee is higher, that's because of that local fee. So we collect all the fee that when you join, if you do accept membership and you pay the fee, we collect it and then we give back to the chapter 100% of that local fee. So let's say, I think for Arkansas State, I think it's 50. You can correct me in chat, but let's just say it's $50. I'm pretty sure it is. That's because that chapter added $20 to the fee. Oh, sorry, I'm just reading chat. I'll get back to that. So that 20 goes towards operating your chapter on your campus. It goes really back to you, to your chapter, to your student leaders who are running that chapter. And you are going to, benefit from that because they're going to have food at every event and pizza parties and ice cream socials and any other supplies that they need. So that money goes to good use for your chapter. And if you're involved in any other student organization on campus, you know that every club needs some money to operate. You need to have something for supplies or to rent a room for an event and a microphone or to pay a speaker or whatever it is, there's always money involved. And the last thing I'll say about the fee base is you already pay a fee, a mandatory fee that you don't have a choice in your student activity fee. So it might be called something different on different college campuses, but pretty much every university in this country has a student activity fee, and your student government probably collects it and then distributes it to student organizations. Whether you join those student organizations or not, you're paying a fee, and it's typically a lot, and it's every semester. So you know that student orgs need some money to function. So that's what the fee is, 30 plus whatever the difference is what your school gets. And so is it worth it to you? That's for you to decide. We think there's a lot of benefits for the 30 anyway, I can speak to. You get a lot for that. And just remember that it's forever for the rest of your life. And Alpha Lambda Delta's been around a long time, for 100 years, and plans to be around for at least another 100. And again, there's no recurring costs. You don't get charged ever again. We're often confused with fraternities and sororities, and I am gonna get to that question you asked in chat. So hang on one second. Obviously, with our Greek letters, we sound like a fraternity and sorority, but that's the way it was, 200 years ago when they were all forming in the 1700s and 1800s. They just used Greek letters. So we're very much not a fraternity and sorority. We're an academic honor society. And what that means is you can join as many as you want. If you do know about fraternities and sororities, you know that you just pick one, right? You go through Rush, you get paired up, you pick one, the bidding all happens, and you pick one, and that's it for life. Like you are part of that fraternity or sorority forever, and you would never join another one. But that's not the case with honor organizations or social, not social fraternities, business fraternities or service fraternities. Those you can join multiple. So you might get invited to other honor societies, and you can certainly join more than one. Alpha Lambda Delta is oftentimes a good entryway and first one to join, and a good feeder for future honor societies, such as ones that involve your major. So we also, deal with, are we for real? Is it legit? Are we a scam? Just out for money or whatever. So if you have gotten several invitations, I would just suggest that you do your homework about them. So there are certain things that legitimate honor societies that truly honor academic achievement have, that there are certain ways that they distinguish themselves from other organizations. And the first one is, do they even have academic criteria? So if they don't, if you got invited because you have a 3.5 or higher, but 6 other people who don't have that GPA, so got invited to something else, that's not necessarily an honor organization. Do they have chapters on a college campus? Do they have any sort of presence on your campus? Are they 501c3 nonprofit organizations? Are they certified by the Association of College Honor Societies? There's lots of things you could be on the lookout for. And Alpha Lambda Delta is all of those things. We have chapters, we have academic criteria, we have certification, and we're nonprofit. So just do your homework if you've gotten other invitations besides us. So I have mentioned that it does look good on your resume, even if you're not involved. And so I do think that's still true. You do get a little bit more out of it if you do get involved, if you go to some events. Again, you're not required to, but we're known, again, around 100 years, we're known by employers. We have 1.4 million members over our 100 years. So, the people who are interviewing you or looking at resumes, they know about Alpha Lambda Delta, even if you're not that involved. And if you do transfer to another university, one of two things. One is that new school has Alpha Lambda Delta. And if you just let us know that you transferred, we can transfer your record. If you want to be involved in that new school's chapter, you can. And if you transfer somewhere where that we don't have a chapter, you could join our national chapter. Just again, let us know if you want to be informed about maybe new things we've got going on. Just let us know. We'll keep you in the loop. Or you could help us start a new chapter at that school. So you might take a gap year or transfer. Your membership follows you wherever you go. Let me just take a minute to answer some questions. What can you exactly participate in? So again, there's sort of two levels for Alpha Lambda Delta membership. There's the chapter and then the national. I'm representing the national organization. So at your chapter level, your chapters are run by your peers, by students. You could, if you join this semester, you might want to be a leader in it next year. But anyway, your chapter's being run by your students, by students who joined a year ago. There's an invitation every spring because it's based on fall grades. So I would look to what they have and what they're offering on your campuses. So in every email you've gotten some reminders, probably hope they're not too annoying. You got your invitation, your initial invitation, then you're pretty regularly, you're going to get different kinds of reminders and nudges to join. So at the end of every single email you get is your chapter advisor's name and email. So that would be the first thing is if you're not familiar with what your chapter is offering on your campus in terms of programs, then ask your chapter advisor and see what they've got going on. And I'm going to talk in a minute about the national level and what you can participate in and benefit from. Are there classes you have to take to fulfill membership requirements? No, I'm reading chat here. Oh, it's a direct message, it's not. So the next question was, are there any specific classes we have to take to fulfill membership requirements? And the answer is no. No, this is not an honors program where there's courses. It's an honor society and participation is optional. Okay, so let me be specific about these are the national benefits. So again, make sure you're in tune with your campus chapter and see what's going on there nationally. We have a cutting edge exclusive leadership certificate program that if you join, you can participate in. Online self-paced leadership development. And there are 12 courses, 12 topics. You can take the next 3 years to complete it. It won't take you that long. It's each course of the 12 takes probably half an hour. So it's not like a course, like a real academic course. But if you complete 10 out of 12 topics, you get a national certification. You get your name added to our website and you get a certificate. So that's called ALD Lead Certified. We offered that slide I'm showing right now is actually old, last year's slide. We just upped our financial scholarships. We do $225,000 in scholarships every year. So keep an eye out on our scholarships. And I should mention that our website, if you're not already, that's also in all the emails you're getting, but nationalald.org, nationalald.org. All of this information is on that website. Leadership certificate, all of our scholarships. And then a really cool program that tons of students partake in. So if you do join, you should do this. And you're going to make that $50 back very quickly through this perks program. It's what it sounds like, it's just discounts and perks. We just partner with this company who offers discounts on 300,000 different things, food, restaurants, pizza, movie tickets, travel, oil changes, all sorts of stuff, thousands of things. So that comes with your membership if you join. We offer a lot of career development opportunities, workshops, webinars, online stuff, meeting with alumni who are successful in their field. That's a lot of stuff on our website there. This is a little known fact, but it is true that if you ever want to work for the government at any point in your life, you're automatically upgraded by 2 pay levels by membership in Alpha Lambda Delta. And then we've talked a little bit about the resume, lots of volunteer opportunities. The question asked in chat about what kinds of opportunities are there on campus. This is where you would volunteer. Most chapters do volunteer activities. We do offer a conference. Not every student can go to the conference, but if you were super interested, you could tell your chapter that you want to go. It's a free trip and it's a different city every year. This year it's in Washington, D.C. It's always in October. And it doesn't cost the student anything, flight, hotel, and food. And again, it's not that the chapter can't send 20 students, but if a handful wanted to go, they could send. I mentioned campus involvement. Our chapters are doing all sorts of things. These are real pictures of real students joining, who are part of Alpha Lambda Delta, doing a bunch of activities. It's not just, our honor society is based on first year academic success, but it's not just for first year students. So you're being invited now as a first year, but you're encouraged to stay connected to the chapter and as a member really for the next 3 years, and then of course for life. So there's all sorts of things each year you might want to be involved in. We do offer incentives and things. If you do maintain your GPA through graduation, you get a senior certificate, and you could be up for a senior book award. And then honor regalia are very popular at graduation. That's a picture of our cord, a little charm on it. We have stoles and medallions as well, and they are very popular. I really encourage you, I'm wrapping up here. If you're curious, really encourage you to check us out online. So again, National ALD is our website, and it's also our social media, particularly Instagram. We're pretty active there. We do some theme posts like Why Join Wednesday and Study Tip Sundays. You'll get a good sense of our vibe if you follow us on Instagram. We have a bunch of videos on YouTube, a little bit on LinkedIn, and tell your parents to follow us on Facebook. Okay, so that is sort of the formal info session. So I'm going to stop sharing and stop recording.